Welcome back. You're watching Market Fatafat right here on ET Now show where we discuss about all the stocks that are moving in trade. And yes, we've done with the first 30 minutes of the show. And for the next 30 minutes of the show, now we have Kunal Rambhia joining us. A very good afternoon to you, Kunal. Thank you so much for joining us on ET Now and especially on Market Fatafat. Let's talk about emphasis. How does this one look on the charts when you compare it with other mid-cap IT players? Emphasis stands out, or do you think that it still has a long way to run?
Very good afternoon to everyone. So the specific observation on Emphasis is that most of the IT counters have actually shown some kind of price correction, but this counter is actually into sideways consolidation. For the entire month of September, if you look at the price action, on the higher side it has made around 25.30, 25.40, and on the lower side 24.40, and the average turns to be 24.85, which is the current market price itself. And today's behavior is showing some kind of really good volumes activity along with the higher top, higher bottom on the very short time frame charts. So I think this is a time to accumulate. Next leg of rally might just emerge in the coming expiry itself. One can accumulate this counter with the stop loss of 24.60. On the higher side, I think this counter is now getting ready for 27.50 to 2800.
Okay, 2750 to 2800 is what we should watch out for Emphasis. That's the word coming in from Kunal. But let's move on to the next stock. And we have a couple of cement names and cement pack that is in focus. Let's talk about Dalmia as well as Ramco Cements. Now, why are these two in focus? We have a channel check that has come in on the cement space by ICICI Securities, where they're saying that, in terms of the channel checks, they've yet again assumed a huge importance that is given to in terms of the surprise price surge in the East India. The announcement obviously was made in at the beginning of September 2023 in terms of the Rs 70 per bag pricing. So yes, their interactions with several sector experts is what ICICI Securities is highlighting, and intermediaries of the region have pointed towards an improving cement price scenario. With East India a flag bearer, they also understand that North and Central have recently attempted hikes of rupees 10 to 15 per bag, as well as they believe that there prevails a ripe expectation of sharp spike in the South as well as the West India as well for October 2023. Given the industry's poor track record is to something to withstand the sharp price hikes beyond a few months, sustainability of the recent hikes remains a key for the companies. Even in terms of the fundamental sector-wise, concerns remain intact while hike may improve sector sentiment in the near term. That's the word coming in. And on the back of that, look at both these stocks. They've been buzzing in trade. Ramco Cements up 5%, Dalmia Bharat up 3.8%.
All right, moving on, let's talk about Delta Corp, and that indeed is the stock of the day. If you look at the stock, it saw a sharp downtake. It was locked in the lower circuit briefly of about 20% last time I checked, and yes, now it has actually the lower circuit has opened up with the stock trading lower by about 17%. And why such a sharp reaction coming in for Delta Corp? There are two reasons. One of the main reason why the stock actually opened a gap down of approximately 10% or so is the fact that the company has received a notice of about GST liability of about 11,140 crore rupees for the period of July 2017 to March 2022. This happened on Friday post-market hours. The amount claimed in the notice is based on the gross bet value of all games played at the casino during the period, is what Delta Corp said in an exchange filing. So on back of this particular development, you have the stock that opened with a gap down approximately 10%. And what led the stock even more lower is the fact that it has an equity block deal of approximately 3.2% that changed hands. We don't know who were the sellers or the buyers in this particular block deal. Post that block deal, the stock saw a sharper cut coming around, and actually the stock is trading lower at a level of not seen in over about 2 years or so. So that's Delta Corp for you.
Let's move on and talk about the next stock, and ISMT, Harsh, this one is in focus today. What's the news flow that you're picking up here?
Well, yes, so ISMT had actually set up a subsidiary or rather a special purpose vehicle called Tridem for the purpose of setting up a port and power project in Tamil Nadu. Now, land for that was already allocated by the government of Tamil Nadu, but it seems that there was some dispute with regard to that land, against which the company had filed for a writ petition in the High Court. Now that writ petition has been dismissed by the High Court, and the order presently affects the ability of Tridem to set up the port and power project altogether. In fact, Tridem is further evaluating the order and contemplating legal remedies, including challenging the order itself. On the back of that, of course, and on the back of a tough day of trade in any case, the stock is down around 2/5% or thereabouts.
All right, so that is ISMT, that is in focus. Kunal, coming to you, New India Assurance, how is this one looking on the charts to you? No doubt it's seen a sharp uptick, about 42% over the last 6 months. Do you think that this one would be the next set of PSUs that could see a rally?
So now this PSU is a theme of the of course, but as far as this counter is concerned, it's making a very clear higher top and higher bottom formation. And in fact, we spoke about this counter somewhere in the mid of August when it gave a first breakout at around 130, and post that it's making a very clear higher top, higher bottom. Recently, after making the high of around 150, it came down, retested the breakout of 136, and now it's trading at 139. So with the stop loss of 132, I think one can initiate a buy on this with the positional target of 155 to 160 and keep riding this rally with trailing stop loss on the higher side.
All right, so that is New India Assurance for you, and what exactly Kunal has to say on that particular counter. But let's talk about Renuka. Delta Corp was the stock of the day. Renuka is not behind anywhere. If you look at the stock, it's trading lower by about 5.7% in trade today. And why is such a sharp reaction coming in on Renuka? Because this morning you had an exchange filing by Renuka, which said that the Burman family, which already owns a controlling stake in the company, in Dabur, has actually made an open offer to buy additional 26% in the company. Also, the Burmans are intending to buy more than 90 million shares at a price of around 235 rupees per share, which was a discount of about 13.5% to the last closing price, as the closing price of September 22nd. On back of that discounted price for the open offer, you can see the stock is not reacting positively. 5.7% downtick. The stock has hit its lowest levels since September 13. In fact, it's seeing worst day since about September 12. So that's Renuka Enterprises for you, trading low on back of that open offer being launched at a discounted price.
Move on, and Ankita, Renuka Sugars, that's in the spotlight as well. What's the buzz around this one today?
Yes, Vinny, Renuka Sugars is in focus today. It is up 3% in trade. Now, it is coming on the back of the fact that, they have acquired 100% of the equity shares of Anamika Sugar Mills Private Limited, and the subsequent infusion of up to 110 crores in Anamika by way of subscription to equity shares of Anamika for the purpose of redemption of 100% of the outstanding cumulative redeemable preferential shares. And this company, Anamika Sugars, is into manufacturing of sugar and sugar products. And on the back of this news flow, we are seeing an uptick of 3% coming in for Renuka Sugars.
All right, that's Renuka Sugars for you, and let's talk about Britannia then, Kunal. And this one, actually, shockingly, I had not seen Britannia, in fact, for a while, though I've seen the biscuits on the back, but not the stock when a technical analyst was talking about.
It's all on the technical analyst rack so far, but now I think it's coming up, at least on Kunal's rack of the
Yeah,
stock.
do you think it is going to have that crunch and a good day anytime soon? Because 6% in the last 6 months is pretty disappointing.
Absolutely. So the interesting observation here is going to be that the counter actually came down by almost 15% between July to August, and from August to September, this counter is clearly making a higher top, higher bottom on a very silent note. If you look at the behavior of the day, also it went down crazily, and it turned positive, which is showing some kind of buying interest emerging near the low ends of this. So with the stop loss of 44.50, I think one can initiate a buy on this. For the coming series, I'm watching out for the levels of 4800 as a first target, and if that target is achieved, keep revising the target, because this is a very slow moving counter, but at the same time the trend has been positive, so one can ride the rally, create derivative strategies on it, but the stop loss will be 44.50.
The view coming in on Britannia. Hopefully the stock will be able to see brighter days going ahead. But let's move on and let's talk about Strides Pharma. But this one definitely is seeing a bright day in trade today, because Strides Pharma is trading higher by approximately 5% as we speak, or rather 5.5% as we speak. The stock has in fact hit highest levels since September 15th. And why is that? Because the Singapore unit has received an approval for medication for cardiovascular diseases from the US FDA, and this particular drug was pretty much important, pertinent drug when it comes to globally also the sales being higher as well, and it's a positive development coming in for Strides Pharma. So on back of that, the stock is seeing a sharp up move, 5.5% as we speak, Vinny.
So on the news flow, but Kunal, you two have picked out Strides Pharma, and look at the up move that we've already seen coming in the stock, right? Last 6 months, 80% return is what it's already given. What is it that you anticipate in terms of the stock now doing on the technical front?
So if you look at the overall formation, the first breakout came near to 390 to 400 levels, where the broader sideways consolidation of couple of months was taken out. Post that, the counter entered into a trend, making higher top, higher bottom, and again we have an inverse head and shoulder on the daily chart. But now if we move on to the weekly chart, this is the first higher top, higher bottom since the bottom of April 2023. And that confirms that the entire downtrend which we saw between 21 to 23 is now entering into an uptrend. So from here on, one can start accumulating this counter, buy on every dip can be the perfect strategy for this. The stop loss will be 450. So by any chance, if the counter goes below 450, this entire view is negated. But otherwise, on the technical front, I think we can expect the targets of 725 to 730 in next 4 to 5 months time.
All right, so that's the view coming in on Strides Pharma by Harsh. Let's talk about a space that is very close to your heart, and that definitely has to be the banking space. Karnataka Bank, why is this one in the spotlight?
Yes, so Karnataka Bank has gone ahead. In fact, board has approved a fundraise. 1,500 crore of equity is what the board has approved, of which right off the bat they have issued 800 crore worth of equity. And a couple of marquee investors also coming through. You have the likes of an HDFC Life, you have Bajaj Alliance Life, you have Quant Mutual Fund, AXA Insurance, Bajaj Alliance, General Insurance, all of which have participated in this round of 800 crore. Also, the management has come out and told us that they expect to do the 700 crore balance of the 1,500 crore was the raise size, of which 800 crore done. So 700 crore balance sometime in by the end of this financial year, and that they had more interest than some of these players who have already participated in this round. So they are seeing more interest at this valuation. Of course, the valuation being 239 rupees 50 paise. That's the rate at which they've issued or they've gone for that fundraise. Of course, tier 2 capital also in the works. They are planning to raise tier 2 as well. Bank shoring up on the back of strong credit growth.
Okay, let's move on. And Zen Technologies, Ankita, that stock is locked in upper circuit as of now. What's the news for you?
That's correct, Vinny. The stock, look at the move the stock is giving. It is locked in the upper circuit, sharp up move coming from the day's low, and then now locked in the upper circuit at 5%. Now that is coming on the back of the fact that the company has received a big order, an order worth 28 crores, including GST from the Ministry of Defence, Government of India. And on the back of that, we are seeing a sharp up move in this particular counter.
Let's move on and talk about Schneider Electric. Look at the stock move that we're seeing coming in as well. What an up move that we're seeing in the stock. And this is mainly on the back of the news flow that we had in terms of the reports that were suggesting that, the company is looking at a capex around, when you look at it, of around 3,200 crores. And this is going to be over a period of by 2026 is what they are focusing on. They will be making an investment by Schneider Electric. We will be seeing an investment that will be coming of 3,200 crore. Also, they aiming to become a net zero in its operations by 2030, end-to-end carbon neutral value chain by 2040, and net zero CO2 emission across the entire value chain by 2050 as well. But this important news flow that they've lined up an investment of 3,200 crores. So more focus is what the company will be making in terms of the Indian region as well. And in line with their growth ambitions, we're seeing Schneider Electric is in focus, but this is according to the reports that are suggesting that this news flow has actually come in. Stock as of now is trading with gains of 4.4%.
All right, Kunal, looks like you've taken it too seriously. You're going to find very rare jewels for us today on the show. You spoke about Britannia. That stock had not done anything much. If you look at Wockhardt, actually, last time I checked, the stock has not done that great when you compare it to the rest of the pharma pack. Where do you see Wockhardt headed from here on? Because very rarely, we've actually heard anyone talk about Wockhardt Pharma now on technicals.
So the stock picking idea is basically finding the stocks near to the support itself, and Wockhardt Pharma is one of the such counters, because if you look at the historical behavior from June so far, this counter has made the bottom at 220, and post that the second bottom was 225, and the final bottom now what we are witnessing is near 230. It's available right near to the support, so with the stop loss of 221, 222, one can think of initiating a buy on this. The range for this counter in last 5 to 6 months is been 220 to 260. So first target on this will be 260. And if it crosses 260, it's going to be a major breakout on the counter. We'll keep revising the targets. But for now, with the stop loss of 10 points, one can expect at least 30 to 35 points of rally from present levels.
Lux Industries on the news flow, and Harsh, why have you picked up this one? What is it that is keeping the stock a buzz?
Well, yes. There's a confirmation coming in from Lux Industries that there is a search which is ongoing at their premises. Now, of course, the stock already took a bit of a tumble. In fact, last week, so we did see that Lux was roughly down last week as well. But now it's recovered quite a bit. In fact, it was down roughly 4% last week. Now a bit of a recovery seen post that confirmation and clarification coming in from the company, up around 0.8% as we speak.
Alright, let me just quickly actually mark the flashes on the bottom of your screen. I'll request my producer Somashri to show the stock price of GMDC, KIOCL as well as NMDC on back of that particular development, as you can see it on your screen, because what wire agencies is reporting, quoting sources, is the fact that government will be looking to auction the lithium reserves in Jammu and Kashmir. They are saying that some of the overseas miners have shown interest in the lithium reserves, and also an Indian state-owned company is in final stages to secure the lithium blocks in Argentina, and also government is in early discussions with Chile government for lithium blocks. And remember, lithium is very crucial when it comes to EV car making, remember?
Absolutely.
So that's one of the reasons why you have Indian miners also that's in focus. So apart from GMDC, KIOCL is a stock that you can show. Also, you can look at the stock price of what NMDC is also doing, because NMDC we had an exclusive ET Now story also that said the NMDC is also looking at bidding for it. So yes.
So possibility on that front as well. And look at the slight bit of an uptick that we've seen, though trading in the red NMDC, but slight bit of an uptick. Even GMDC was showing an uptick as of now also after the news flow. So let's keep an eye on this one. Surely an interesting move coming in on this front.
Exactly. Lithium reserves which have been found in Jammu and Kashmir, government going ahead and actually going to auction those blocks. So definitely a crucial development on national front also to keep in on your radar.
Absolutely, but let's move on and shifting gears and talking about HDFC Bank, Kunal, then. And on the HDFC Bank, how is it looking like? Being a bit of an underperformer right now. Nothing exciting in terms of a move that we have seen coming in since the merger. What are the charts now indicating to you for HDFC Bank?
As you correctly said, there is no excitement actually on the chart because there is no momentum. But at the same time, if you look at the September 2022 bottom, it was at 1535. Post that we saw the bounce till around 1720. Second bottom was again somewhere in the month of March 23, same bottom. And this is the third time the counter is hitting the same bottom, that's 2530. So with this proper risk reward ratio, I think this counter is available near to the support. So with the stop loss of 1510, one can initiate a buy on this. And on the bounce, we can expect the levels of around 1620 to 1630 for now. And then we'll keep revising the target as it continues to jump further.
Review coming on HDFC Bank. Ankita, Hero MotoCorp, why is this one in the spotlight?
Well, Cheryl, Hero MotoCorp is in the spotlight. It is down, 0.3% in trade right now, trading at the day's lowest point. Now, that is coming on the back of the news that, they have announced a new price for their Charisma XMR today. The new price will be 1,79,000 onwards, it will be effective from the 1st of October. Now, Hero Charisma XMR will be available at current and introductory price of 1,72,000 till midnight of September 30th. Customers can continue to book the motorcycle, at Hero MotoCorp dealerships across the country or online with a booking amount of 3,000 rupees. But the current booking window will close at midnight of 30th September, and the date of new booking window will be announced later, which will be for the revised price. And on the back of that, the bike has clearly become more expensive. On the back of that, we're seeing a downtick of 1.2% in trade today.
Okay, let's move on. And now something interesting coming in, that HDFC Securities has actually launched a new investment app called HDFC Sky. Now, the app enables helps the users to track all their investments in a single place. Let's go across to my colleague Asta, who actually managed to speak to the MD and CEO Dheeraj. Let's listen in to the exclusive chat.
I think the pricing in broking industry is already at rock bottom. From here, with the compliance and other costs increasing, we believe that the pricing will go up only.
So digital expansion is on the verge, like what are the expected plans for HDFC Sky?
See, our plans is to onboard more and more number of customers. As we know that we are getting almost 2.5 to 3 million new Demat account holders every month. So we have a complete digital journey in place. So customer can open an account in less than 5-6 minutes. So that will help us to onboard many more customers, and we'll be able to serve millennials, Gen Z, new age customers who are looking forward to empower themselves.
What kind of market share is the company commanding currently?
See, we have been largely catering to the investors. So there in cash segment, we have almost double-digit market share in the retail space. In derivatives, we've been having a low market share because our thrust was always to cater to the investors and not so much to the traders. With this platform, we strongly believe that we have a proposition, a compelling proposition for trading communities also, and millennials, Gen Z, who are looking forward for a more short-term intraday and trading activities. So we believe that we will gain significant market share with HDFC Sky.
This itself, the journey is so stitched together, which empowers our customers to take decisions for their financial and trading and investing needs. And the way we have built up this application across all segments, from trading and investing, this gives them control and over their decision making. Because at the end of the day, what important in investing journey is you have too much of information, too much of clutter, which makes you further confused. So how to cut the noise, how to cut the confusion? With our in-house research that empowers customers to execute and take decisions. So that's what it makes it different for in comparison to maybe it's unique.
What are the steps you're looking for to avoid the fintech competition?
I think fintech. I would say challenges are always mindset, because and we are a large organization, and large organization takes little time to go through. But when they go through, I think the music is a little different. So obviously we took our time, we built the right tech stack, we hired the right talent for that, and we invested a lot in terms of building up a fairly suitable product for our customers.
All right, and on that note, we totally have actually come to the end of this edition of Market Fatafat. Thank you so much, Kunal, Samit, as well as Ankita and Harsh for joining us on the show. And it's a